Juice.
This is the Grow Business Podcast.
You got
with
they
Cory
didn't get
Mosley.
picked up. That could have been interpreted
Right.
a different way there.
Little juju juice, right?
Yeah. Oh, stay out of trouble. Let's
Right.
take. We made it all to 2025 with all
the
that.
candies, the little
And
candies.
he made you. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Remember the little candies?
No, but
Little-
okay.
They're little bite-sized candies.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Juju beads, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. I didn't want to go
Used to get
viral
them-
for the wrong reasons at the end of
Correct,
the year.
right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So-
it's like if you go to the movie theater at the beginning of the year to go watch a movie. And some
Yes.
people do that for their New Year's
They
tradition.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can get candy, and that was one of the candy options at the movie theater.
Gotcha. Sounds terrible.
It didn't-
I'm
I
a
didn't
crunch
say
a
it.
bunch guy myself.
I didn't say it was any good.
Like a
I
little
just said it's
crunch a
available.
bunch, which is basically a way to overcharge for a Nestle's Crunch bar
Correct.
because they put them in clusters instead of smooth them out. Do you see how? I mean, that's how just you create a whole nother product line from the same. Those are the exact same ingredients that's in a
Right.
regular Nestle's Crunch. They
Right.
just change them to clusters, and now it's a whole nother thing in a box.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic product placement,
Good for
product
them.
extensions. We talk about all these things.
We do.
We do it right here. That's right. You are at the right place, the right location. Do not turn that dial. This is the New Year's Eve. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah, that's all you're
That's
going
all I
to
can say is
Welcome
wow.
to the Grow Business Podcast.
That's all I got.
Little late. Shit, here we go. Yeah, it's the first 30 seconds that dictates what's going to happen to the rest of this thing. We're going to try this again. Welcome to the Grow Business Podcast. I'm your host, Cory Mosley. Co-captain in this wild ride, bringing us into 2026. We're on the precipice.
Ooh.
The precipice
There you go.
of 2026. LG Longram 007. No, I said it wrong. Longram. LG 007 Longram is here.
Voice of Reason.
It's good to
I'm going
be
to
here,
get you a
Cory.
new, you're not all that rational. I'm going to get you a new name going into 2026, maybe. Because, when I think about it, we coined you this voice of reason, but that would mean that things are being said that are unreasonable. And then now you're coming in as the voice of reason.
Oh, so what we're saying is that we got to get.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm in charge. I know what's going on. I'm not done with you yet. We'll get to him in a minute. I'm not done with you yet. I'm just saying that,
Well, we can interpret that the opposite is true.
Yeah.
So find the voice of reason that the other things aren't.
Right.
Or we could say that I bring things together and consolidate all
Okay.
those good ideas
All
into
right.
into a single thing. It doesn't mean it's
All right,
unreasonable.
I'm going to play with that. Otherwise, I might just call you Ivory. All right.
For those
Up
who aren't
next.
watching, you should be watching.
Up next, they know. They don't need to. They don't need to know. They don't need to see the video to know that you could also be called Ivory. Yes. Next up, LG telling me how to do my job. He is the man pushing the buttons. Let's see how it goes. See if he can make it into 2026. Willie H is here.
Hit the buttons, William.
That's right. We'll see how he does it. All right, this is New Year's Eve.
It is.
We're super excited
Yes.
that we made it.
Yes.
All praise out to
Dominus
whoever your
omnis.
God is.
Right.
Mine is Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you're into.
That's right.
So I thought it'd be fitting, as we always said it, we've maintained, throughout this year. The goal of the podcast is in the name. We want to help you grow your business. So if you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, even in the corporate world, even if you influence the growth of business, right?
Right.
I mean, so a lot of people forget about that. Like they think about the small business owner and the proprietor, that type of thing.
Correct.
If you're inside an organization, even from a C-suite standpoint, where you have what is called P&L responsibilities,
Right.
you are running a business in a business, so to speak.
Correct.
Right? You're charged with growth, whether that's if you're a CMO and you've got responsibilities for growing the organization's footprint, their brand.
Correct.
So we really want to encompass that, and we do that based on our 5 pillars of business growth. And that is simply our philosophy that every business growth challenge can be drilled down to one of these 5 pillars: mindset, sales, marketing, operations, and people.
Right.
And within that, your ability to identify, isolate, and attack will create an opportunity for you to grow. And, we've spent the past year just sharing that information, beating
Right.
that drum, hopefully sharing things that have changed your business, have grown your
Correct.
business. And, I realized I was getting some ads. I'm getting ads now. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a ominous, but it's a company that they help founders shut down their businesses.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not getting y'all algorithm. That's a whole nother different conversation.
Right.
But I look at so many different things and search for so many different
Correct.
things just to absorb information.
Right.
So, and that's what they do. I've never seen a company like this, but they're like, hey, businesses fail all the time.
Right.
And, mistakes get made in the closure.
Okay.
So we're a company that comes in and helps you shut it down.
Okay.
Whether there are investors involved or whatever paperwork, taxes, all those liabilities, notifications, all those things, they come in to do that. So it's just amazing to me, how businesses can, get created and business ideas. And again, filling needs.
Correct.
Right. So, I think for us in this journey has been working to close some of the gaps, be a resource of sanity, not of clickbait,
right?
Not of just everyone wanting to assert their authority or everyone having an opinion or whatever. But to do that, so I thought it'd be fitting.
Okay.
First off, there's still time to pick up your copy if you didn't get one for Christmas.
Correct.
Right? There's still time to pick up your copy of Position for Growth, available on Amazon. But I thought it'd be fitting that we look at this as we close out 2025.
Okay.
And we look at gratitude.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to look at it without, rose-colored glasses.
All right.
And what I mean by that is looking at how smart business owners reflect, reset, and move forward.
Okay.
So I think a lot of that gets skipped. Now, there are some people who will end this year with a record year.
Right.
There's some people, it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
But, as two people who I think remain thankful.
Yes.
Two people who've survived various life events and life challenges, right?
100%.
Stories to be told many, many years from now. You had no idea.
That's right.
I thought that was a good thing to close out.
I think it's a great thing to close out, and I'll say this, Cory, and I say this standing firmly on the ground in front of a mirror, is that often we're so focused on looking ahead at what we want to accomplish and what we haven't done yet that sometimes we forget to look at how far we've come to get to where we can take those next steps. I like it, and the year end is a good time to just take a deep breath and do that.
Yeah. And, a lot of people may have done that already leading up to this.
Right.
But if you didn't, if you haven't really thought about that, if you're just, if we're treating it like TJIF, right. We're just, trying to wipe that slate clean.
Right.
We're hoping to get to this. We'll wake up tomorrow and feel like we can start all over again.
Right.
But, whatever stuff,
right?
It don't go away like that.
No,
so if you got some things going on,
right?
They're going on in 2026, right? They're coming with you.
Yes.
So we can reset the mind, which we want to do and want to talk about.
Right.
But yeah, I want to focus on that gratitude piece. Because not every year ends with champagne and a victory lap.
Correct.
Right. So 2025 didn't go away. A lot of people, planned. And I think that's exactly why reflection matters.
Yeah.
The things that you planned for that didn't happen, some unexpected things, came up, some opportunities.
Right.
Some opportunities that were distractions.
Yes.
That, for me, I was able to see them as such, where maybe in the past I would not have.
Correct.
I would have just seen them as opportunities and then, gone into the abyss and hoping that when the fog cleared, I wasn't at the edge of a mountain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. And I do this, over the last few years, and I talk to sales leaders about it. I do this development, like and learn. Mm-hmm. So at the end of a year, at the end of quarters, what did I like? What can I be thankful for? What went well? and is what you're talking about, is how do we appreciate some of the things that were good, and sometimes the things that are good are the things we didn't do.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about as well.
For sure.
And then what can we learn to do better coming into the new year 2026?
No, agreed. So I think fundamentally, let's look at this as one thing. I think, something to consider is that, because people confuse this, right? Reflection is it self-criticism?
Correct.
And I think that's an important thing to think about, because a lot of people will just they'll put a blind eye to like, I don't even want to think about that thing that happened, or I don't even want to talk about that.
Right.
And they think in terms of criticism and the anxiety of that. But really, reflection is strategic intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
It's
an opportunity to, one, to not repeat it.
Right. Right. You're not beating yourself up.
Right.
Right. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about extracting insight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And sometimes you do things because they seem like a good idea. And going into it, your process was the way you thought about it and the way you processed that information. Like, okay, this is a good thing for us to do. And then you do it and it didn't work out. Well, that doesn't mean it still wasn't a good idea going into it.
Right.
It just didn't work out.
Right.
And what can you take from that? So what you're saying is instead of going back and saying, well, we should have never done that, I should have known. Well, now because you did it.
Right.
So,
well, particularly when we think about the impact that emotion has on judgment, right? Particularly in that moment.
Right.
So now as we're looking back, something in January, February, March, April, whatever, how you may have handled the situation. I mean, again, that's the hindsight is 2020, all those kinds of things. But when we think about judgment and kind of decision-making, emotion has a big role in that. However, I believe that reflection is what will actually help you create clarity.
Yes.
Woo. When the church say amen.
Yes.
That was good.
Perfect.
Hit that right on the point.
Locked in.
Yeah. Because, and my problem was, the thing with you, not my problem with what you said, one of the things you said leads to this alternate viewpoint I have when I hear people talk about burning the ships.
Right.
And, sail to the new land, burn the ships.
Right.
There is no going back. There is no plan B. See, and that sounds all motivational.
Right.
But my problem with that is it leads people, particularly people who are heavily influenced by those type of mantras.
Right.
It leads them to overstay. So like you've seen the meme where the guy is digging and he's digging and then he stops right before, like he was just about to get there and he quits too soon.
Right.
Or the iceberg that looks like the tip, but there's all these things going on. We've seen all those things to make those points about not giving up and these different things.
Right.
But people confuse not giving up with an inability to adjust.
Oh, right.
They'll take their conviction all the way to bankruptcy.
Right.
That should be against the law.
And I think that's the dangerous part about like blind motivation or blind optimism.
Yes. And what we're talking about today, this reflection, allows you to learn from what you've done, and both good things you want to keep doing and things you want to do again, and maybe in a different direction because the direction that you took it last time didn't take you where you wanted to go.
Yeah. I mean, the goal isn't to judge the year good or bad.
Right.
But really, from a reflection standpoint, really the goal there is, what did it teach me?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's so good. And in order to learn that, so doing it now for something that was 3 months ago or 6 months ago.
Right.
It does what you said, is it removes the emotion because now you're far enough away from it that you can look at it with a level of intelligence and a level of just a level of understanding differently, and you can process things and recognize benefit and also recognize where you may have made some mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, and if we're going to put this in a question form, so I think about things like, what decisions moved you forward this year, even slightly?
Correct.
Like questions to ask yourself. What decision moved us forward even slightly?
Right.
What assumptions did I make that turned out to be wrong?
Okay.
What did I think was going to happen? What did were there deals that I just knew were going to close?
Right.
that I still can't believe didn't close.
I can't believe they didn't understand.
Right?
Or they just didn't get it.
Like, I can't believe
Right.
they didn't close it. And this is, I mean, very specific for people in the sales role,
Correct.
but obviously business owners who obviously need to drive revenue.
Right.
Where there's some things I thought were going to be a home run
Right.
that weren't a home run. Then some things, again, what was the opposite play? So in this case, what assumptions did you make that turned out to be wrong?
Okay.
And the last one here I'd like people to think about is, where did effort not equal results?
That's a good one.
Because I think there's a lot of time, and I was having this conversation with a business owner a few days ago, and the statement was, business owners, like frontline, like proprietors, right? Owners, don't apply the same structure to their time that they do an employee, right? That's clock in, clock out.
Right.
That's a very structured time. Like
Correct.
employee wages is very structured.
Yes.
Ownership is not translated. And what the context of the conversation was, they were talking to someone else about how much time would be involved in doing something and building a certain type of business,
right,
based on their history doing it.
Okay.
Like, oh, well, I never spent X amount of time, or I didn't have to do that. And then afterwards, I said to them, you what you said had truth to it, but it wasn't reflective of the total history.
Okay.
Because what you left out is what you had to do 10 years ago.
Right.
Not how it is now.
Right.
So remember, they will be starting from where you were, basically, with some new technology and some new things,
Right.
where you were 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, you couldn't count the hours. You didn't end the week while you were building that business going, whew, I worked 100 hours this week.
Correct.
You don't look at it that way. We're not programmed to do that.
Right.
So when you assess and go, oh, you know what, you could probably do this business for 20 hours a week.
Right.
Now
you could, right, with everything. With
so
the
right, did you
reflection.
just set the expectation that that's what they could do?
Right.
It's not. But you're not counting time. We don't count it the same way for things that we do internally.
And this is, so in addition to what you're talking about, Cory, how do we set, like, we're more structured with our calendar, with experience, because we know what worked and what didn't work, and we know where our impact is, hopefully.
Right.
And we know where our impact is and where the maximum. You talk about effort, talk about energy. We put energy and effort towards things that we know or that we think are going to give us a higher probability of results.
Right.
And that's the benefit of our experience. And when you're talking to somebody who hasn't had that experience yet, they're going to make some of those same mistakes. It doesn't matter how much we tell them. They're going to make some of those same mistakes that we did along the way. No,
for sure. I think it's just, also how they process it. Like, I really have thought about that. And I talk about this a lot of times to consultants or people who are in, like, time for money scenarios or whatever. It's, and I've reflected on deals where I've just spent a lot of time that wasn't logged in a traditional sense, because it really wasn't billable hours like an attorney, but it was time. I was like, man, I probably spent hundreds of hours on calls and things that didn't get billed out.
Right.
Now, if I take the end result, if I take the end dollars and I lay that against time, that's scary.
Yes.
Because no one wants to come to the realization that they worked for $2.53 an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, so, we'll go back to the Colonial Heights Chiefs, right? The football coach got paid a stipend for the work that he did as a coach. In addition to his teacher salary, he got paid a stipend. And most coaches, especially at the high school and junior high level, get paid a stipend for doing that.
Well, they do this for the love. That's a different thing.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, though, is when you break down the hours that they put into it versus what they get, it gets to be $1 an hour.
Sure.
Or
Right.
75
say
cents an hour.
fulfillment.
Right. Yeah.
13-0.
Right. There you go. All right.
That's what we're talking about.
There you go.
Send Mosley through the 3. Send me through the 3.
Send through the 3 for 6, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, you had to shoot the.
Right.
Did you ever play?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What position did you play?
So I played receiver. I played a little bit of quarterback. I played D-back.
Okay.
Defensive back.
All right. There you go. Offense wins the games, though.
It does.
All right. Let's see. That depends on who you ask. So, so reflection without blame
Yes.
can turn pain into data.
Okay.
And that's ultimately, when was it going to get something there? Let me see if I was going to get something. Nope, wasn't ready. Nope. Okay, I got to talk some more now. Oh, I got to earn the, ain't this about a, if we want some more then. If you don't study the year, you're destined to repeat it. Oh.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And, I mean, the biggest thing, and it comes back to the ability to look at something without the emotion associated with going through it.
Right.
Because
this
that's
is very
where,
John Maxwell. We're in John Maxwell territory,
yeah,
right?
we are.
Failing forward.
Right.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So we're very much in that John Maxwell territory right now.
You never fail.
Again, it's so it really just I laugh because I follow a few people online that are very interesting because they're so hardcore. Right. Like, it's just like there's no middle ground with them.
Right.
If you're fat, if you're fat, you lack discipline.
Right.
So I reflect on that being a bigger guy. I listen to this guy, and your knee-jerk reaction is just want to punch him in the face.
Right.
But you're like, and his point is, cake, broccoli is better than cake.
Right.
So if you're eating cake 3 days a week, he refers to you as something else. But I don't want to have to put explicit on this version of the show. Right. Yeah. But you can imagine what he's saying.
Sure.
So his delivery may obviously anger people.
Right.
But then he always ends with, and if I offended you, then you're one of these people I'm talking about. So I have an appreciation for a direct, no nonsense.
Right.
But then there's also something in the nuance. So like when we talk about failing forward and these things,
right.
These are statements that are meant to soothe the situation,
right.
But get you not feeling like a failure, but understanding how, even if you failed,
right.
But understanding how to use that. So I find value in that as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we struggle with, certainly I struggle with it and continue to struggle with it, is nothing is black or white, or it's not.
Right.
It's not all or nothing, right? It's
depends on who you ask.
Well, it does.
Right, you either work out or you don't.
It does depend on who you ask.
Like it's not I got busy.
Well, but
because I think some of the best workouts, you're a big walker,
right?
And I've recently been working out with great frequency.
Good.
But I always find though, when I did the ones that I didn't want to do,
mm-hmm.
I feel the best afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to do it, particularly traveling.
Sure.
So like traveling recently, the hotel gyms.
Yeah.
Like my mind, I had a thing like I didn't want midnight to hit.
Right.
So even if my day went to 11, I really needed to get down there and do something.
Correct. Oh wow, good.
Yeah. And some of these gyms were not all that great.
No, I mean
some were great though. I came by some nice hotel gyms this year. But some had more mirrors than equipment.
Well said.
Go ahead. You have been sitting on something. Go ahead.
Well, I think what we have to be willing to do is recognize progress.
Mm.
And progress is so important. And so when I talk about when we live in an all or nothing world,
right,
it doesn't allow us to give ourselves credit for progress.
Mm.
And that is, I think, the core of what we're talking about here on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Cory, is how far did we come?
Yeah.
From last January 1st to December 31st.
Yeah.
And what steps did we take? What progress did we make?
Mm-hmm,
what are the things that we can take value in, then give ourselves credit for doing well, not just beat ourselves up because it didn't work, or not just beat ourselves up for the things that didn't work, because there's more that we can like than we're willing to give ourselves credit for, unless we sit down and recognize it in terms of progress.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Might be a guy I want to work with.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I mean, again, it goes back to this theme of mindset, how we process information, how we look at things.
Right.
That's what's always been amazing. I mean, God knows we don't talk politics on the show, but
Right.
Because I'm just not interested in having a polarizing show. But what I find interesting about politics or things of that nature is how actually this is even religion and politics. if we want to double down on trouble,
Right.
What I always find fascinating though is how someone can read the same piece of information,
right,
and have a completely different interpretation.
Right.
So I'm an amateur on the Bible,
Right.
but I find it very interesting how when people have certain biblical debates,
Correct.
that they can read a passage one way. Willie H is more in your wheelhouse, and come to a completely different conclusion.
Correct.
Than what someone else said.
Right.
With the understanding we can't go back to the
we can't go back
can't
to
exactly
the
call
source.
the author up
Right.
and get clarification on what he meant.
Right. Well, what did you actually mean?
Yeah. And I feel it's the same thing in politics.
Right.
You watch the same press conference, watch the same thing, and then have a completely different interpretation of it. So it's the same thing here when we talk about reflection, when we talk about gratitude, when we talk about, people will harp on the loss, they'll harp on what didn't happen, what deal didn't close, who wronged them, who messed their deal up, who customers didn't get it. This person wasn't supportive, the community didn't come out, this, or that, the other.
Right.
And not once do I hear anything about the blessing in even being able to attempt it.
Right. It's, it is all based on the perspective of the person. And perspective is based on three things, Cory. Perspective is based on your experience, what you know, and what you expect. So if you're watching a political piece and you expect that person to say something and they say it, you get what you expect. And what you're expecting is based on what you know and what you've experienced. So two people with different experiences can read the same passage in the Bible. They've been trained differently. They've been trained by different people. Maybe they go to one denomination church versus another, and that becomes polarizing. But the reason people can look at something differently or look at the same thing and see it differently is based on their perspective. And you've got to be willing to give yourself a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, what we're talking about here. And I go back to making progress. Can you identify and recognize that you made progress this past year?
Right.
Maybe not as much as you wanted,
sure.
Or maybe not as much as you expected, but can you recognize that you made progress and that in some ways you're in a better place than you were last year?
Right.
And not just beat yourself up for the things that you tried that didn't work.
Yeah.
Voice of reason.
There you go. The lesson. You ready for this one?
Yes.
The lesson is the profit,
Ooh.
even if the revenue wasn't.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm committing myself to one-upping you when William drops the voice of reason behind it.
Well done.
When he drops the voice of reason,
right.
not yet.
Like I'm coming
not
back.
quite. Hold my coffee.
That was good. The lesson is the
it's
profit.
good stuff. All
That's
right.
good.
Number 2, there's 5 of these.
Oh, wow. Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I think the attention span is probably shorter on New Year's Eve for people.
Right.
I don't know if they want the 4-hour version.
Correct.
Who needs New Year's Rockin' Eve when you got the Grow Business podcast
Right, you can take us with
to
you.
get you through? Exactly. You can watch Carrie Underwood sing anytime.
Every Monday night.
Right. All right. Gratitude is a discipline, not a mood.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one.
A lot.
So gratitude doesn't mean pretending the year was great. It means acknowledging survival, progress, and resilience.
Yes.
Many businesses didn't even make it.
Right.
So if you're going into 2026 still being in the game, that matters.
It does matter. It means you got a chance for 2026. And so, and so many things have happened, not just in 25, but in 24 and in 23. These things are compounded, right? And you can go back as far as to when you started your business.
Right.
But however, whether it was 6 months ago, 6 years ago, or 16 years ago, if you're still in business, that is a place of gratitude and reflection
Right.
to start the new year.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Let the church say amen.
So when we talk about things to be grateful for, staying solvent,
Yes.
keeping the team intact,
Yes.
learning what doesn't work,
Yes.
and ultimately still having options.
Yeah. And what we don't do a good enough job either in any type of leadership role is replacing a key person that we lost. Losing somebody that we thought or surviving somebody that we thought losing them was gonna crush us.
Yeah.
And we're able to survive that. And people retire, people move, people get promoted, go work for somebody else. So we've had all these conversations in previous episodes about recruiting talent, gaining talent, losing talent.
Well, a good client of mine, which became a good friend, started as my best client, and we became friends. She said everyone's replaceable over time.
Yeah.
So some people hit you, some people the hit is more urgent and immediate.
Correct.
But everyone's replaceable over time.
Correct. Fortunately.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
And again, these are all things we're talking about. What can you reflect on and be grateful for now when you weren't grateful for going through it?
Well, you don't have to learn. You don't have to love the year to learn from it.
Matter of fact, most of the time when you don't love it, you should learn from it.
Yeah. You need to think, what the hell is going on here?
That's right.
Survival is still a win.
Yes.
Especially in business.
Yes.
I know we like to talk about thriving. We want to focus on that. And there's a lot, and there's a lot of people who did that. And if you had an excellent year, great. Gratitude should still be part of that. There's still moments to reflect on. Could it have been better? Could it have been even better than it was?
Right.
So this is not like stay tuned if your year sucked.
Right.
This is either way.
Correct.
Because gratitude in itself isn't denial, it's perspective.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
100%.
I like it. All right. 3. Separate outcomes from identity.
Oh, yeah. That's hard.
So a tough year doesn't mean you're a bad leader.
Right.
Market shifts,
Right.
timing, external forces.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting with a client. I keep getting pulled. So I have a rule. Well, I established this rule. So, there's just certain things, certain directions, certain things I'm interested in life now,
Right.
that were different than other things years ago. But I have a rule,
Okay.
which is if a former client who was a good client and a good relationship, if a former client needs me, I will always be. They have to pay, but if a former client needs me, I will always be there, no matter if I have moved on from the industry or I don't do that type of consulting anymore, or I don't do that type of coaching or whatever. So even if I've evolved in what I'm doing, if someone needs me, if someone who was a past client needs me, I will be there. So that's why you are the best. So I get a call from a former client.
Okay.
And he's telling me his situation, his problem, and it's an industry that I'm no longer really majorly active in.
Sure.
But I happen to be in town. I happen to be in his city.
Okay.
For another reason, and he was made aware of that, or I made him aware of that, or something came up.
Right.
So we got back together, and now he's telling me this problem. So part of what he's talking about, though, he's saying, we were doing this, we were a rocket ship, and then things started to go the other way. And it's like, okay, great. Part of that is internal, potentially, right? Which is what he wants me to try to troubleshoot. Right. And the other is external, legitimate things that happen, legitimate things in the economy, the government shuts down, the legitimate things that are happening. We're at an all-time, the amount of repossessions and things that are happening are like at an all-time high now. Okay. It's very scary. So a lot of things happening to him. Like, well, they're happening to other people too. Right. But what's the proportion? That's where we got to close the gap. Right. So he's smart enough to not go, oh, it's the market, which is what some people will do in their business. If their business is going backwards or not performing at the level, it's, look at the economy, look at what's going on in government, look at this other, and they'll settle on that, will not look within or look within their organization. So he's smart enough to know that, yes, some of this is external, but certainly that could be also an opportunity for us to get better
Right.
So we take a smaller hit and ultimately maybe can use it as an advantage for better market share
Right.
for other people who go to sleep.
Right. Well, it's that victor victim mentality, right? If it's happening to you and all you do is complain about it, then you're a victim. And the victor looks at it and says, well, this is happening to me. What can I do about it? And how can I either turn something else into my advantage,
Right.
or turn this into my advantage, because I can deal with it better than my competition.
Yeah.
So it's you, and so your past clients like, okay, well, I'm getting affected,
Sure.
but I'm getting hit, but I'm going to hit back.
Right.
So I'm a victor.
Well, the other thing too is many owners will internalize. So there's the opposite of that too, right? So you did everything you can do, but the market, right, had its say, right, and it ran it. So we also want to be careful of being a business owner who internalizes failure when it was circumstantial.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
The banks weren't lending. The SBA was not functional during the government shutdown.
Correct.
So if your business was dependent on that, or you were in line to get an SBA loan or something like that,
Right.
all those things came to a halt. It was not a definitive, indefinite situation.
Right.
It was a temporary setback.
Right.
Right. And a lot of people go make permanent decisions based on temporary situations.
Right.
Because all in all, we're still in the best country on earth.
Yes.
We're still in the most prosperous country on earth.
Right.
And there's still never been a better time to pursue business and entrepreneurship, particularly in, an area that's been doing very well, which is the franchise world.
Right.
And as we close out 2020, as we head into 2026, I should say, we want to be thankful of our new sponsor. And I've got products. We were hiding.
Goodness.
Willie H. Strategic. You might have, if you watch us on YouTube or stream us on Spotify, you might have seen the ribbon there. We've got product here.
Oh my goodness.
This is actually limited edition product. And folks, I'm talking about, of course, Pecan Jacks, unless you've been living under a rock. Living under a rock. They sent us. We got, what camera are we on? Yeah.
Oh my
They sent us chocolate.
Ooh.
These are, let me turn it the other way. These are chocolate pralines.
Oh my
This is limited edition. They don't produce these year round.
Okay.
But they've been a great sponsor.
Yes,
and let's talk about that a little bit, Lon.
Well, thank you, Cory.
While I open the praline.
While you open it up and start to do the first taste test. Well, thank you, Cory. Today's episode is sponsored by Pecan Jack's Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen franchise, where fun meets serious profit. With an average unit volume of $960,193.38. This is a franchise that proves you can build wealth while doing something people love. Learn more at pecanjacksfranchise.com to see if there's a sweet spot open in your market.
Yeah.
Yum-y. Thank you.
Take a little bit of that. I broke a piece for you.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you to Pecan Jackson for your generous sponsorship and product.
Chocolate praline, look at that. What do you think about that? You never had the chocolate.
I had this
chocolate praline.
Yo, this is yum-y.
Delicious.
Yeah, definitely go to pecanjacksfranchise.com. And if you're not willing to buy a franchise, you can find out where one is in your area where you can buy the chocolate pralines.
You need to be a customer.
That's right.
Chocolate pralines.
Mm-hmm. Or
Leave that out. What was that? Yeah, delicious.
100%.
What is that? Oh, pralines everywhere.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm going to dust this off. All right, we're still mid-show.
We are. Thank you.
Again, if your business had a tough year, that's fine. Your business had a tough year. You didn't fail.
Right.
And ultimately, outcomes are temporary. Identity is long-term.
Correct.
So a bad year is an event, not a verdict. Your numbers don't define your leadership. And this year happened to you, but it's not who you are.
Right.
And I think, again, this isn't a woe is me episode. This is just about being able to do self-reflection, being able to have gratitude, and really understand where the lines are. I find that many times, business and business success or business variations also in sales, I compare sales a lot to dating.
Okay.
And I will use a lot of analogies, and I used to use a lot of analogies in sales training relative to that piece.
Correct.
Because there's a lot of that, and it's kind of like, hey, if somebody if someone's not interested in you, they're not for you.
Right.
Right. I mean, why are you trying to fight for compatibility?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
If it's not there.
Right.
This person doesn't return my calls. Okay, well, they don't value.
Right.
I mean,
they don't want you.
Right. And that's them. I mean, that's
Right.
their loss when you think about it, even though it doesn't feel that way because you
Right.
wanted one thing and they had a different agenda. But I feel like it's the same way here. It's like really having that realization. Now, there are things that will be your fault.
Yes.
If you have a bad offer, if you don't convey your products and services properly, if you are more focused on features than benefits, right? So there are definitely things in your fault that can be corrected.
Right.
And I always say professionals hire other professionals.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going to get better purely by Googling and trying to let ChatGPT run your business or Claude or Perplexity or whatever you're into, you're in for a rude awakening because it doesn't work that way.
So you're right. It doesn't work that way. And while you may get a little bit better, you're getting the same level of better that everybody else is doing.
I'm not paying for a consultant.
Well, right.
Oh, you don't like help.
you don't like getting better at scale.
I'm gonna spend 80 hours on YouTube. That's just dumb.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not talking about. Well, I am. I want to say I'm not talking about like how to change your oil. Maybe you want to do a YouTube tutorial on that.
Right.
God knows why. Right. When I can just go to Jiffy Lube and have to change my oil in 30 minutes. I don't know why I want to fool with that. Right. That's a Willie H question. We have to figure out. We're gonna need to get like Willie H. I think we're gonna take like camera 3 one day and have it on you. We're gonna treat him like Robin. Howard Stern, like when they shoot her in the booth, and like we're gonna have a camera on him, and then so he can participate, or like who's all the guys that have the sidekicks, like like Jimmy Kimmel, the guy, I think we're gonna have to do is maybe something with him. We cut to him and let him answer the question because he's a do-it-yourself kind of guy. Like, I mean, I think he's working on a transmission or something right now, like pulling it apart and putting it back together, like hand making catalytic converters in his garage, like that whole deal, carburetors, all those things. Yeah. But anyway, whereas just tell me what time so and so showing up to solve this issue. Right. Okay. That's exactly right. I went to put the headboard together, and about an hour in, I said, it's just going to be what it's going to be until my guy comes and handles it. Right. Yeah. So to each his own. Because we're all grown. I made that rhyme. All right. So where are we at? Okay. Look for progress you didn't plan for. Yeah. So not all growth shows up on a P&L. Some years you build capabilities instead of cash. Right. And skills, systems, and confidence often come before revenue. It's almost like being ready to really get to really get it done. Right. Well, there's that saying when success is when opportunity and preparation meet. Yeah. Or luck is when opportunity and preparation meet. You can call it whatever you want. I think the big thing is there's this concept. Can you hear that? You can hear that. You can hear the crumbling. I have a little more on that, but go ahead and finish. There's this concept of unintended consequences. There's also this concept of the opposite is also true. Unintended progress or unintended benefit. Right. Like you did something and you benefited from it in a way that you didn't expect. That's like the one door closes, another one opens kind of mentality, right? Yeah. Yeah. How are you looking at it? Well, and it's funny because I think that happens very often. Like people find it's kind of like, an exact example's escaping me right now, but like a drug company was building a drug for one thing and then found out, because Willie H, what Viagra was like that, right? Mm-hmm. Viagra was supposed to be what? Supposed to be hair. It was supposed to be for heart. What was it supposed to? Oh, it was supposed to be for your hair? Yeah. Oh, okay. Supposed to be regrow your hair. Interesting. And then they found out that it could grow something else. That's correct. So like, and then, they made a kabillion dollars off of that, correct. Right? Yes. So I think that, that becomes very interesting, unintended, things like that happen. So what could you be thinking about? Better decision making. Maybe you want to make clearer boundaries with clients. improving the clarity of your marketing, right? These are all the things in terms of reflection we want to look at. Stronger leadership. Maybe you need somebody like Lon to come in your organization and work with your sales leaders, or you want to be a better sales leader, or you're realizing as a business owner, you didn't think you were in sales because you had salespeople and they were going to solve all of that, but you really haven't taken the time to skill up in the area of sales, which I think is very interesting. I think that's such a missed area. That's a whole nother episode, but
Right.
But thinking you don't have to have sales skills because your product or service is what it is, so to speak, right?
Right. Well, and underappreciated, along with sales, are communication and presentation skills. Those things run in parallel lanes. And you've got leaders who, or business owners who are really good at the technical aspect of it and at the technical aspect of what they do, yet they struggle to be able to communicate that. And give yourself, if you took a course in communication or you took a course in sales skills, that's something that you can give yourself credit for. Maybe you're not where you think you ought to be or where you want to be,
right?
But give yourself credit for the progress that you're making towards getting there.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, I like those chocolate pralines.
Yeah, that's good, right? That's good, right? Yeah.
That's what I like.
That's just one. We're tearing this up right here. There's a whole box there. Some years build revenue, others build resilience.
Yeah.
So you may not be richer, but you're definitely sharper.
You may be richer in talent, not necessarily richer in your wallet.
All right. Last one.
Okay.
Maybe. Might be a bonus one.
Mm.
Close the year with ownership, not excuses. So gratitude doesn't eliminate accountability.
Right.
Own the things that were in your control.
Right.
And avoid rewriting history to protect your ego. Ooh.
That's good.
Ooh. When the church say amen.
Well, it was good.
So I'm going to say these questions and then you come in.
Come on.
So healthy, I'm going to call these healthy ownership questions.
Yep.
What would you do differently with the same information?
Okay.
Number one. Number two, where did you hesitate where you should have acted? And then three is, what did I tolerate longer than I should have?
Yeah.
Have at it.
What did I tolerate longer than I should have? I think that's the concept of what can I do more of and what should I do less of? We've talked about before doing that T-chart, drive on one side, delete or delegate on the other. And it's an opportunity to say, okay, what are some things that I did too much of that I can either hand off to somebody or recognize that it's not important enough to keep doing? And that's sometimes what we learn throughout this process is what we should do less of, or what we should
simplify
stop
to multiply.
doing. Correct. That's exactly right.
Yep.
I talk about the difference between a light and a laser. Are you trying to do everything, or are you focused on what's going to drive your business?
Growth starts where justification ends.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, right?
That's a good one.
I'm going to turn these into a book.
Yeah. Little coffee table
Coming
book.
2026.
Right, for the waiting room, for the, there you go, coming 2026.
For everybody to get in their hands. We got to keep the momentum of position for growth going.
That's 100% right.
Yeah.
Motivation by Mosley.
Yeah, Mosley Motivation.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
One of those books with the calendar. You tear the calendar off and it's got the quote there.
Yeah.
Ooh, I need 365 of these, though.
Well, you can start with 12.
We get ChatGPT working.
You can start with 12.
Make me sound smart.
Or 52.
All right, we do have a last one.
Right.
Well, last points on that. Ownership is empowering, not shaming.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And then excuses keep you comfortable, but ownership is what moves you forward. All right, so last one, truly last one. Decide what you're carrying into the new year and what you are not. Reflection should lead to intentional release.
Okay.
Not everything deserves a seat in the new year, and clarity will beat motivation every time.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was. So I want to give them. I want to encourage 3 things, but I want you to go ahead and make a follow-up point before I do that.
Well, the clarity piece is so important, right? And we talk about distractions. We talk about what you did, what you didn't do, what you let go of.
Yep.
And again, it's if you have a clear idea of where you're going, like you put it in your GPS, you know where you're going. What that allows you to do is it allows you to navigate through some of the detours along the way.
Right.
And these things that show up in front of you. What happens oftentimes, though, is we get something that forces us to take a different route, and we forget to get back on the route because we don't really have clarity about where we're going.
Yeah.
And so that clarity
Or you
piece
have adult ADHD like me.
100%. Right. Oh, wow, there's a shake and, what's it called? The steak and shake? Yeah. There's a,
I had that in the Fort Lauderdale airport.
Did you? Good for you, right?
Got reacclimated to steak and shake.
There you go. So it's, that clarity piece is so important. And what this reflection allows you to do is it allows you to let go of some things that once you identify and get clear on what you're trying to accomplish and what you want to accomplish, that allows you to let go of some things that are holding you back.
So that's a great lead in. So I want to encourage 3 things.
Okay.
1 belief to let go of that maybe you've held that hasn't served you.
Right.
1 habit to stop.
Okay.
And 1 strength to double down on.
Awesome.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe this guy can help me.
This guy can help me.
The one that was the first one when you said one belief to let go of.
Yeah.
There's real power in that because beliefs shape our identity. And you talked earlier about the identity and outcomes and the correlation between those two, or the correlation we make between those two. And so one belief to let go of can really shape your identity, and your identity drives how you proceed. So that's, they're all good,
right?
But that's the one that really resonated as we talk about reflection.
Yeah. Just remember, folks, New Year's don't create change. Decisions do.
Wow.
Right?
That's going in the book. That's going in Mosley Motivation right there.
And listen, you can keep the lesson. So we're talking about learning these lessons. Keep the lesson, drop the baggage.
Right.
You can extract what you needed from there without carrying the whole thing.
Correct.
Right? You might have been through some traumatizing moments.
Right.
Even in your wins, there are lessons that maybe don't get created. You can call luck. There are certain things that happen good for people this year.
Right.
You can call the universe.
Right.
We can thank Jesus.
Yep.
We can do all those things. But there are some right place, right time scenarios.
100%.
There's some people that hit that. Listen, if you won the lottery this year,
right,
you can thank Jesus.
Yes, and you should.
But if you think that I believe God, amongst all the things he had to do, was like Jerry Johnson from Fort Myers, Florida, you're the guy. I'm stopping what I'm doing as all-knowing, all-powerful, dealing with all of the world's things to make sure you hit the lottery as an individual person.
Right.
There are horrible people who've hit the lottery.
Yes.
Right? It's not like all God-loving, God-fearing, good Christians or whatever you're into, like straight in the middle. There are some horrible, I think like a crackhead has hit the lottery.
Right.
So sometimes things just happen for you. Deal falls into place, whatever.
Right.
Somebody died, and now you were number 2 online.
Right.
There's just all these kinds of things, right? Some idiot took his mistress to a concert and got put on the camera, and now is no longer the CEO of the company, and you were there 12 years as the number 2 guy, and this guy had no plans of leaving. You were going to be number 2 for the next 10 years, and now he went to a concert, got caught on the kiss cam, and now he's out.
Right.
And now you're CEO with $1 million package or whatever.
Right.
Like, it just happens sometimes.
Well, and this is a great opportunity to reinforce the reflection piece, right? His bad luck was your good fortune, but your good fortune is because you were ready for it.
That's right.
Like what you did for 12 years.
Sure.
So that's what we're talking about in reflection, right? There's some things that you can control, some things that you can't control. You can control being prepared.
Right.
You can control making good decisions. You can control doing the things. And I say it, athletes, and I use this analogy for athletes, for Taylor Swift, for whoever you want, entertainers. What you do in the dark gets revealed in the light. So when the light comes on, all the preparation gets revealed. So that person that was in that role for 12 years, that was the preparation in the dark and the shadows of that CEO who got blown up.
Right.
Well, now you're ready.
Yeah.
So we tie it back into the reflection.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
That's perfect.
That's what they say.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
Correct.
If your business keynote speaker can't make it, and the events today
down at
call
the
me.
convention center.
Yeah,
That's
call
right.
me.
That's right.
New Year, you need a business speaker for your New Year's Eve bash.
That's exactly right.
Call me.
Right.
Satisfaction guarantee. No, that was the intent of that song, but
you know what?
It fits.
If it's our New Year's Eve
Absolutely.
episode.
All right, folks. Man, I thought it was gonna be a short one, and it became a long one actually.
Right. And we came up with an idea for Mosley Motivation.
Yeah, Mosley Motivation, my new book coming soon-ish. Coming soon-ish. The last one only took 5 years.
Right.
But soon-ish.
Right.
Maybe I want to just put them out like a madman this year. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's one that you could do an audiobook.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be much easier to do an audiobook because
yeah, that's it. You just wake up, push play on each day.
That's exactly right.
All right, before we get out of here, we want to make one more announcement thanking our sponsor, Pecan Jack's Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen. Lon, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Cory, and thank you, Pecan Jack's. Before we wrap, a quick
I will
thank
eat
you.
some Pecan Jack's while he's doing that.
A quick thank you to our sponsor, Pecan Jack's Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen franchise, serving up smiles and strong returns with an average unit volume of $960,193.38.
Love it.
And chocolate pralines. If you're ready to add a high-performing, family-friendly franchise to your business portfolio, visit pecanjacksfranchise.com and start your journey today.
I love it. I think they're sold out of these, actually. So I feel good that we got...
Get on the pre-sale for next year.
We must be special.
Well, we got to know somebody. It helps.
All right, folks. Well, this closes out 2025. Holy moly.
Wow.
Yeah, this is big.
Yeah.
We appreciate you riding with us, taking the time. If you're new, we like having you here. If you've been with us, we thank you for continuing to go. This is your spiel. You go ahead and close the spiel out. Yeah. But I'm thankful. No, let me say this. I'm thankful since we're talking about gratitude. All the work that goes into this, production. Lon, I want to thank you for stepping in. 85 episodes ago. And thank you for all that you're contributing to the podcast and showing up. Willie H, thank you for, this would be at Lon's house. We'd have a house party podcast if we didn't have this lovely elaborate setup. So thank you for making that possible. Yeah. And there it is. Well,
thank you, Cory. I enjoy it, and it's I learn a lot every time we do this, and hopefully our listeners do too. And for those of you that are with us, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back. And next year, bring a friend.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2026. This has been another episode of the Grow Business Podcast. I'm your host, Cory Mosley. On behalf of myself, Lon Graham, LG007, and Willie H., we will see you in 2026. Willie H., take us out. 2026.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yes. Yes, indeedy. This, it's interesting too, because the way the calendar lines up with, New Year's Eve being on Thursday or on Wednesday, New Year's Day being on Thursday, and then the second, then you've got a weekend. It really does allow for a great opportunity to take some time away and just sit down.
This was obviously designed by an employee who wanted to be off.
Correct.
Might as well just give us the Friday off.
Right,
But
that's
it is, and
exactly
you come
right.
back fresh, man. It does give you that lineup. So
Correct.
unless you're hammered through the whole process, then no, it doesn't have that effect, right?
Wow.
Too much Tito's.
And that's your reflection.
That's your lack of discipline.
That's
man.
what I did, right? Yeah, I used to have company I worked with. We did July 1st to June 30th. So depending on the way the 4th of July fell, it became a couple of days to really do an assessment
Gotcha.
of the year, wrap up numbers, wrap up personnel.
Yeah.
Where are we? Who do we want to add? What does that look like? And
It's
so,
over.
yeah.